realising the dream isn't always what you thought it would be. Episode 207 of the BTS Creative Academy podcast, Uncut. Introducing Summer Mawdsley. With me, your host, Martin Colton.
I was with Leo yesterday.
Right.
He was giving me tips.
Oh, Leo, who's been on the podcast. Like, who's Leo? Do I know any Leos? Of course I know Leo.
Leo Shep. Yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry, I should have specified, yeah.
Yeah. What tips was he giving you?
He was like, just relax. Imagine you're just in your living room.
You're on your stage.
Yeah. This is my stage.
This is your stage, your theatre, your space, your time.
Yeah.
And we're just, we're here. You ready to begin?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, let me chew.
Let you chew. Okay, tell me when you've chewed.
Okay.
Have some water.
But,
Yeah, Leo was like so long ago. Like,
yeah,
that was
ages ago.
Nearly a year ago now.
I remember
Like
listening
September?
to it in,
October?
2022, yeah.
Yeah. 2023.
Was
Are we in
it?
2024? What year are we in?
Oh, yeah, 23.
Yeah, we're in 24, so 23. Yeah, 23 is when we started.
Yeah.
So we're in.
Yeah.
Welcome, Summer. Welcome
Thank
to
you.
the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me. Mm-hmm. It's nice to have you here in our space, in our theatre, which has been kind of like your home for a very long time.
Second home, yeah.
Second home?
Second home, that's what I've always called it, yeah.
It really is, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome. Before we start, I've got a tradition that we've got to start with, the clap.
I know all about it.
You know about the clap? Yeah. So should we do it?
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, clap.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Nice.
Lovely.
That was really smooth.
Hello, right?
I think that's the smoothest one yet.
That's why I'm here.
It's like, you must be like a dancer or something.
I must be.
Or a singer,
Yeah, all of it.
an actress.
Uh-huh.
Anything else?
That's about it,
Okay.
I think.
Well, that's a triple threat, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't that
but
what
I
they
guess
call it?
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people may say that, yeah.
I think that's the industry term that I hear sort of like thrown about a bit. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't just, like, if you just dance, that's just like one thing. You've got to add in the other skills as well.
Yeah.
Haven't you, to get the gigs, to get the work.
Well, that's all thanks to my parents for putting me in all those lessons
Yes.
from very young. So.
Yeah, which I want to get into that. I want
Okay.
to figure all that out with you, and let's figure that out. But the other day, there's something I wanted to talk to you about first. The other day, you were sitting upstairs in this theatre, and I said, right, we're going to start the conversation with that, because you're having this moment of, I'm going to change the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Was I?
Do you not remember? Do you not remember this?
No, I was 3 glasses of wine in.
Oh, was you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that
Yeah.
explains it
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
That you were having a moment upstairs and you
Was
said,
I?
I'm going to change the world. I'm going to change the times that pubs open and close.
Oh, yes, because I wanted to go to the pub on a Sunday and they were all
Right.
shutting early and I thought it was ridiculous.
Why is that? Why do they shut
Oh,
early?
I don't know. I was just in the mood to go to the pub.
And there was nowhere.
There was nowhere open.
See, I thought the rules had changed. I thought when I was younger, like all pubs closed at like midnight, 1 o'clock latest.
They do on like Saturdays and Fridays, I think, but on
Right.
Sundays, they for some reason, they're all shutting at 10:30.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's like, we've got things we want to do.
I want to change that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we change it then?
Oh, I mean, you'd have to get into the government and
Yeah.
that's not a good idea at the moment, is it? No.
You're not going to do that?
No.
You're not going to get into politics?
Absolutely not, no.
No. I always say to my daughter, I say to her, like, if you want to change the world, you have to like get into the system.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in order to like break it up and
Yeah.
reform it, I think.
Probably.
I might be wrong, but
Yeah.
yeah,
No, that's not for me.
no.
No.
But you'd like them.
Yeah, I
change the
might
time.
write a letter to the Prime Minister.
Yeah, we've got a new one.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
him and
Yeah.
say, first thing you need to do, pubs open late on a Sunday.
So when he says like, why?
Because sometimes on a Sunday after a show, I want to go to the pub.
Say just for Summer Mawdsley.
Just for me. Yeah.
Just for Summer, of course. But that's fine then. I'm sure he'll be well up for doing
Yeah,
that.
good.
But the social like scene has changed like drastically, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I think back like it's 20 years ago now that I would be going out like pubs and clubs, and yeah, it was really like busy. Whereas I went into London recently on a Friday night, and it was dead.
On Friday night?
Yeah. it
Where
was
did you
just,
go?
like, I was just walking through London, just like through like Oxford Street and Tottenham Court Road, and I wasn't specifically like out, but I was just thinking like compare that to like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Just there was just like nothing really going on.
I saw someone talking about that recently on TikTok, someone around your age, and they said that there used to be so much more like live music as well going on, which I would love that. Yeah. But you don't really see that. You've got to go somewhere specific to see live music, but that doesn't really happen anymore.
No, it used to pretty much be in every pub on a Friday night. Used to have live music going on. But yeah, now it's like an event if it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then in this town, we used to have the Square.
Yeah.
Which was a venue that was dedicated to live music, which has been taken away, and a car park.
Lovely.
Has been built in its place.
Yeah.
Like.
Sad.
Yeah.
That is sad.
So no, I do feel for your generation. You need to bring the entertainment back. Your group.
Yeah, that's something else I'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Yeah.
There's a mission for you. There's a mission for you. So you've had a life of being in theatre, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
That's quite unique, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And I love it.
Do you?
Yeah, it's the only thing. Like when I think about like my purpose in life, there is nothing else I think I could do well and enjoy at the same time other than theatre. Like it's my favourite thing. I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
And so, do you feel that is because of the influence of your parents? Your mum's been on the podcast on a very early episode of this. Both your parents are good friends of mine. Your dad's a writer, director. Your mum's a writer, director as well. And they teach to drama school, don't they? And they're very, very creative. And yes. You've got a very creative house, haven't you?
Yeah, very creative house. And it is all because of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't see my life going any other way with what they do. So
when you were young, like let's go back to the beginning. Let's try and like figure this out. How you've turned into this all-round performer. Let's try and like work it out. Was there a point where your mum and dad said to you, "Do you want to do the same thing as us?" Or was it all just kind of like
it all happened naturally? Yeah, I was in dance and singing lessons since I did baby ballet when I was 2. So dance lessons since I was 2, singing lessons since I don't actually know how old, but young, and piano lessons. And then obviously Cats, my parents' drama place.
Yes. Cats is mentioned a lot on the podcast.
Is it?
Yeah, and because it's not, and because I have quite a few local people, I always say what Cats is, because it's not just local people that listen.
Of course.
So it's like, you go to Cats? What is Cats?
Yeah. What you're asking me?
Yeah,
what is Cats?
You,
Cats is, and I know every place likes to say that they're unique, but Cats is genuinely a unique drama school place where everyone can go and be accepted and feel like they fit in a way. And a lot of other places that are drama schools may focus a lot more on the training, and while Cats does train you, it also is, it's just like it's a second home for a lot of people. You know, if you feel like you don't really fit in, or you just want to gain confidence, not even necessarily be an actor, but you just want to gain your confidence and make friends, and it's just a really good place for people to do that. That's what I think.
Yeah, and as an adult that's come along sometimes as a supporter, sometimes I've dealt with like the technical stuff. My children have been involved. I see it as there's more of a concentration on building a family and a community.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, rather than going, right, here's a skill set that you need to learn. It's going, right, that's what happens when we all come together as a group and we can make together. And
it is such teamwork as well. It's not like, you know, my dad or my mum is like, I'm going to teach you this and you're going to do it. It's like, let's work together to create a show and create like this amazing thing, and everyone puts in their ideas, and it just becomes this thing that everyone has been such a big part of. Every time there's a show, it is a family. Yeah, it's lovely.
It's a really like special thing to be a part of, isn't it? And to find a place where you feel part of something.
Yes.
That you're not just being given orders. And like you say, there's a lot of drama schools will just say, this is the show that we're doing, this is the part. Yeah, You'll get directed through that, and that'll be the end of it. Whereas, and you're mixing with different age groups.
Yes.
From a young age when you do it, because you're there with kids from when you start,
It's actually primary school and secondary school.
and
That's how it's split.
all the way to the end to like 18.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But then you have all the adults on the outside as well, all the helpers.
Yeah, we get people, lots of different people involved. That's another great thing about it. It's not just the kids. It's, you know, you get to meet loads of different people that come in and help, and everyone just wants to be involved, and everyone can be involved.
And then sometimes you'll have an adult on the stage. I've been on the stage,
Yeah,
with you, haven't I?
yeah, yes.
I forget that sometimes.
Yeah, what were you in?
What ones have I done? Electra.
I thought, Starlight Express.
Starlight
I remember.
Express. I was
Yeah.
Electra. I was so bad.
I don't remember it.
I do.
Yeah.
That was a ground swallow me up moment.
Oh, no,
That
really?
was, because I'm not a singer like at all. But your mum was like, "No, go on, you'll be all right." You'll be all right. And I was like, no. And I think she had more confidence in me than she should have done.
Oh, that's funny. No, I'm sure you were great.
No, I wasn't. I really wasn't. Electra's a hard song to sing as well. Do you know it?
Yeah. I love that musical. Yeah.
It's really high and it's a huge performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did it because it was fun and because I was part of the community, and like I say, my kids were part of the group as well. So it was helping out.
Yeah.
So you started off with cats and you were doing other things outside ballet as well.
Yeah.
And you really just enjoyed it at that time in your life?
Yeah. It was just something I naturally, obviously did. Like it was just, that was my Sunday. My Sunday is cats. And then I started doing lots of other things, hip hop pop, which I'm still at and I love, and I think is just one of the best things I've ever done as well. Again, is like, they're like a family. They're like my family.
They've got a similar ethos, haven't they?
Yes.
I've had Jen and Vic on the podcast as well. Yeah. And they were talking about their ethos of family.
Yeah.
And it's just so important, isn't it?
It really is, because like how are you going to want to make kids come to you every week if it's not a nice environment? And it, like cats and hip hop pop, just couldn't recommend them enough. It's just the best thing I've ever done.
And I guess we get a lot of the academic stuff from school.
Yeah.
And there is still academic stuff going on. Isn't there?
Of course.
Happening.
I've me as a dancer has been shaped by hip hop pop, and they made me the dancer I am today. And absolutely.
Do you think for you one could have worked without the other? Do you think you could have done just hip hop hop without cats, or cats without hip hop hop?
No, because then I wouldn't be the all-round performer I am today.
Yeah.
I can't imagine not doing either one of those at all.
So what does your drama bring to your dance?
Well, the mark of a really good dancer is your performance as well, because you can be the best bodily mover, but if you've got nothing going on in your face and you're not performing, then it's not interesting to watch. And a few times, because at Hip Hop Pop we do big shows every 2 years, and there's always a storyline to it, and so there's always a bit of acting going on. So a few times Jen's given me a part to do, which is like dancing and acting at the same time, which she knows I can do because I act. So do you know what I mean? It all goes together, it all links together.
And it makes me think of when I watch, I've never been a huge fan of it, but I do see it occasionally, when I've seen Strictly. Yeah. And you see the dancers on there, and you see the ones on there, the people that haven't had that experience of dance or acting, and they come on and they do it, and they're concentrating on all the movements that they have to do, but their face is, nothing's going on. Yeah. And they may be like a 10 out of 10 with the moves, and they might be getting all the moves completely right, but as the audience, you're kind of bored. Yeah, exactly. Watching them.
Yeah, it's all about this. And in the same way, you can be not a great dancer, you can be all right, but if you've got it all going on up here, people will see you as so much better, if that makes sense. Yeah. So, yeah. It's
engaging, isn't it? I think we're generally, as the audience, we're kind of, we're drawn to the face. Yeah. To understand what's going on. Yeah. And then the body is like external and separate and like the next level of whatever's happening. Yeah. So we're naturally drawn in. I think we're naturally drawn into like the eyes as well. Yes. And I can often see when there's a dancer that's kind of dead in the eyes. Yeah. Because they're thinking. They're in their head. Yeah. They're in their head and trying to be perfect. Yes. Whereas if they perform it,
it's so much better. Yeah. Yeah.
So what advice would you have to a dancer to find that facial expression, to find the drama within the dance?
A few things. Firstly is what I do is when I'm dancing, I always think about what storyline could this be trying to portray, even if it's such a like a nothing dance. Always try and think, what's the story here? Like, make one up in your head, and then that helps. Also, though, because I recently just did a year at dance college, just a 1-year course, and we get told to film ourselves quite a lot, and I hate watching myself dance or sing or really anything.
Really?
I hate it. Yeah, I still do. But we had to do it all the time because they were like, you need to watch yourself and see what you're doing wrong. And I a lot of the time realised, oh my God, I literally look like this when I'm dancing. And I was like, I cannot be doing that. And every time I watched a video, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's better. And just watching yourself as well. Yeah, really helps.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is I've always found that cringy, watching myself back. Like, that is the worst form of cringe, isn't it? And I went really because I see you as someone that's so confident with your dance. Confident with your dance. And I see you do some great stuff on TikTok.
I do love TikTok.
And you always look really confident when you're doing that. So it's really surprising to hear that. Yeah.
It's like sometimes on a rare occasion I'll look at a video of myself dancing or whatever and I'll be like, oh, that's quite good, but it's rare. It's very rare. Yeah. So.
No. But yeah, no, that is an interesting thing, watching stuff back. Like, I watch these back and I like sit there sometimes and go like, oh, I didn't, like, I looked pretty miserable for like 15 because I'm in my head.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of this time I'm spending in my head and I'm like, I've got to remember to smile more.
Yeah.
Like, because I am enjoying sitting here and having these conversations.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always look like it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I'm like, smile more, Martin.
Yeah.
And so I watch it back for that. But then the other day I got caught by my son, Alex. I had it on the TV in the front room and I was watching it and he walks in and he was like, Dad, you finally found a way to feed your ego.
Oh my God, he's savage, isn't he?
Yeah, and I was like, no, I'm watching it for like research purposes. He's like, yeah, no, this is pure ego, you know.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah, but it's not, is it? We're working out how can we
improve?
How can we improve?
Yeah.
And I guess that's like, have we ever had that in like history before? A time when you can see yourself?
No. That's crazy, actually. I never thought about that.
Yeah, a moment to, like, you think of all the years of performers and how long theatre's been going on and how long dance has been going on.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a moment where we have been able to sit back and assess it ourselves. Yeah. Has there?
No, I mean, even when cameras were invented, even like they couldn't just whip out a camera and be like, I'm just going to film myself quickly. Yeah. Yeah.
It was a whole process up until recently. Yeah. Wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I don't never thought about that.
No, neither have I. Like, these things just come to us now.
Yeah. Lucky.
And I'm thinking it's a good thing.
Oh, definitely.
Is there is there a negative to watching yourself back? Can you be overcritical?
Oh, of course, and I definitely am. This is what my mum says to me all the time. She says, "You're too critical of yourself, And like, yes, while that can be a good thing because I'm always looking to improve, it can sometimes. It can just really, really upset me, and I just think, "Oh, I'm rubbish." Like, do you know what I mean? Which is not good. Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely negatives to it. But yeah, and like that's why I think because I've finished dance college now, and I'm definitely gonna take a break from. I still dance at hip hop pop, but a break from any other kind of dancing because I think I just did become so critical of myself. And I just need to let my confidence go back up a little bit. Yeah,
so I was going to say, like, what does the break achieve? What do you hope you'll get from this break?
I think, to get my confidence up in dance a little bit, I think I lost my love for it a little bit over the past year because I was doing it every single day. And it just got a bit too much. So I think, just building that love for it up again. And because this is another big talking point is about how I don't actually want to be a professional performer.
In any sense?
So
that sounds like a really difficult one.
This is a deep one for me because my dream has always been to be a performer, specifically on the West End, because the love of my heart, whatever the saying is musical theatre. Like that's what's at the centre
of my heart. I like that. That's a new saying. That's a new saying. If it wasn't one before, it is now.
The love of my heart is like right at the centre of my soul, and what I love is musical theatre. So being on the West End, but doing the course this past year, And before that as well, I went to this thing called Spirit, which was for a couple of years, which is a performing arts thing in London. And both those things were quite like preparing you for the industry. Like, this is what the industry is going to be. And
didn't you do the West End Live?
I did West End Live.
Yes,
yeah. That was the best day of my life.
Was it?
That
Okay.
was the best day of my life.
Tell me
was
about
so
that.
good.
Tell me about West End Live.
It was so. Yeah, I did it with Spirit, and we just got called to do this set. So we did, I think it was 3 songs from a musical called Bring It On. So we were like cheerleaders, and we spent a week or like 2 weeks choreographing it, and this whole process, and then we performed it, and it was just like the happiest I've ever felt, because I do love being on stage, and like that the feeling of me being on stage and performing, especially to like that kind of audience, is just like the best feeling ever.
So what is West End Live? What
so it's like it's so a performance over 2 days, I think, where musicals that are on the West End at the time come and perform like 1 or 2 songs, and anyone can I think it's free to go in and watch. So yeah, it's just like
it's out in the open,
like
isn't
concert.
it? Isn't it in front of? It's in Trafalgar Square. Trafalgar Square, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think you do have to book tickets if you want
do
to
you?
get. Yeah, if you want to get.
I've actually been.
Yeah, I think I've tried to get tickets and
Right.
they're all gone. But yeah, I'm not sure about. Cost.
I don't know.
But yeah, a massive event that happens once a year in London, and that was a massive thing to be part of.
Yeah, it was great.
So what musicals did you cover?
Just Bring It On.
Just Bring It On.
Yeah, which is it's not. I don't think it's ever been on the West End, but it's about cheerleaders.
Okay.
So there was a lot of gymnastics.
Is it based on the film?
Yes, I think.
Right, okay.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So yeah, it was really good. It was really
so
fun.
what did that give you then? What you say that was like the best day of your life?
Yeah, it was just like, it didn't really give me anything in terms of, I don't know. It was just so much fun. It was just so much fun, and I just really enjoyed it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm performing in West End Live. Like, it was just a fun thing to do, and it was,
It was like igniting your passion for it.
Yeah.
For it, and that was like
Yeah.
that you knew that's where you were kind of meant to be.
Yeah.
And what you were
But
hoping to be.
Which is sad as well, though, because, and this is what I was going to say, is that as much as I do love performing and I want to be on the West End and everything, all of the process that leads up to that, auditioning and because the industry is so tough, I just can't.
Be part of that.
I'm too sensitive.
Yeah,
like,
nice.
and I've come to realise that over the past year, I'm just way too sensitive for it. And it's not for me.
That's a massive realisation.
Yeah.
That is difficult to say, like, here's my dream, but there's part of the dream that you don't see.
Yeah.
And now that you've seen that part, it's like, that's not really what I wanted.
No, not at all.
So is there something else that you've sort of started to discover?
Yes.
That you do want?
Absolutely. So I know for a fact this is what I want to do for my whole life now is teach.
Wonderful.
And obviously because, well, I've got it from my parents, I suppose. So I've always helped them out with cats and like the Lambda classes, the drama classes that my mum does. I always helped out. But then 2 years ago, I was sat down with my mum and I was like, I want to do something on my own. Like, I want to do something that's mine. And she was like, well, do it then. And I was like, but what? And I thought, well, why don't I do some singing lessons? You know, and I don't claim to be the best singer ever, but like, I think I was like, I think I could be quite good at that. So I started some singing lessons, and I just had a few students from here and there. And I was like, immediately, oh my God, I love this. Like, I just love working with the kids, and I get on so well with them. I don't know what it is. I've always got on really well with kids.
Right, okay.
Because I think it's something about when I'm working with kids, I can be like really myself and like really like playful, and like there's no seriousness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can be you.
I can be me. Yeah. And
kids respond to that.
Exactly.
Kids see that when you're being your truthful self.
Yeah.
They see that and they respond to it, and they come out as whatever their truth
exactly.
is. Exactly.
Yeah. And I just thought, not only do I enjoy this, but I think I'm really good at it. Like,
wow.
So yeah, over the past 2 years, I've been growing that and stuff, and I've got such an amazing group of students now that, and there is not one person that I teach who I don't look forward to teaching them. Obviously everyone's different, but I just absolutely love it, and that is definitely what I want to do going forward.
That's amazing.
So, yeah,
that's such an amazing turnaround. I was almost a little bit worried there that you was going to say I've lost that dream and I don't know where to go next, because that happens to a lot of us, and that happened to me for a little bit when I decided that acting wasn't necessarily the path.
Yeah,
I was like, but that's who I am.
Yeah.
And to discover that at your age, that's such a fantastic thing, because now you've got such an opportunity to build upon what you're discovering.
Yeah.
And to realise that, realise that the vision wasn't necessarily quite what you was expecting.
Exactly. So yeah, really happy about that.
Good. So you're going to just teach music? Are you going to just teach singing?
So at the moment,
expand?
at the moment I teach individual singing lessons, but then I also over the past year have helped my mum with her musical theatre Lambda class. So that's it's a bit different. So it's acting through song. So it's not just singing. It's the whole shebang. So I work really closely with those students as well. I don't know if at the moment I see myself being a dance teacher yet.
Okay, yet.
But it's a possible thing for the future. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, my ultimate dream is to have my own performing arts school. That would be amazing.
Are you going to be taking over Cats? Could that be like Watch Out Simon and Caroline?
It's been spoken about. Here
is the future.
Well, I mean, when the day comes where they are like, okay, we've had enough of this now, I'll absolutely be there to be like, well, I don't mind taking it over. I don't know how they'd feel about that.
I would guess proud.
Hopefully.
What an amazing thing for a parent to be able to do, to set something up for their children to take it off and run with it in whatever direction that you choose.
Yeah, and do you know what's good about it as well is that there's so many. I mean, two of my best friends, LJ and Ruby, shout out, who I met at Cats. I know that they probably want to be a part of it too, and there's so many people that I know that would want to be a part of it. So I wouldn't be on my own, doing it, and I think it'd be.
But you'd never be on your own doing it, taking over your parents' thing, would you? You'd always have them behind you, and part of it in some way, and guidance that they would give you. But yeah, I couldn't imagine as a parent myself, I couldn't imagine anything better. I would much rather leave my kids some kind of business or community that I've built for them to have that in their life than to leave them money.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's got so much more value.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Give them a purpose.
Give them a purpose in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work for me and my kids, because they've got they've got their own things that they're doing, but it is still a great and wonderful thing that could be happening there, that could be starting.
Possibly. Yeah.
So what do you take from your time at Cats? We talked about the family and the community, but is there anything specifically that you take that you're like, I want the future generations to understand this?
That theatre doesn't have to be stressful, because almost every other experience that I've had with theatre it's just been really, I don't know what the word is, like stressful and tense and loads of pressure, and that it just can just be fun and I don't know. Just that. It can be fun, and it can just be something you do as a.
You can find joy in it, and and it doesn't have to be life. You don't have to go to the West End.
No, that's what I mean.
I can hear it. You don't have to go to the West End. You don't have to go to Hollywood. It doesn't have to have that purpose. It can just be for fun,
you enjoy,
for
fun.
enjoyment, for creating something, for being part of a community. There's so many skills that you learn as well, isn't there, along the way that you can take into life.
the amount of people that I've seen come and go from Cats, and they have their first day and they're like the shyest person ever, and they're like crying, they don't want to come in, and then by the time they leave when they're 18 or whenever they leave, they're like this different, like confident person, and it's just crazy. And I do genuinely think that Cats plays a big part in that.
100%.
Yeah.
I keep mentioning my children, they hate it.
No.
If they knew, no, they would hate it.
Oh, they'd hate it.
They would hate it if they knew how much to talk about them. But in the last Cat show, I was watching my daughter singing Teenage Dirtbag up at the front, solo by herself with the rest of the cast behind her. And she was so confident and she performed it so well. But it took me back in my mind to 10 years ago when she started. And on the very first show she did, she hid by the side of the curtain.
Did she?
And she just stood there like frozen and like just looking around and just like, I don't know, like looking at me out in the audience. I'm like, go on. Yeah. And she just looked petrified. But 10 years later, she's gone from the side of the curtain to the front of the stage. Yeah. And I know that will go with her forever. It makes me feel quite emotional going through that journey, like thinking back. Because sometimes when you look at your kids, you're like, I don't know how they're going to move forward from this. Yeah. But they do, don't they?
Yeah, of course, yeah. And no, she's got her own band. Yeah. She's doing really well, isn't she?
She is, yeah. With her music, at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, she is. They're both doing really well. So I'm really proud. So you've got all this experience with all this music and drama. Is there anything else? Like, do you take any skills out into the outside world in anything? Like, I know that this is you, music, drama, performing. But is there anything else? Like, you work behind a bar, don't you?
Yes, at the Harlow Playhouse.
Yes. Which is a theatre.
So
you're working in a theatre.
Which I love.
Is there any skills that you've learned along the way that you also take into a normal job? Yeah,
well, I personally think my customer service skills are very good.
Okay.
Because of acting and stuff, and I feel like like when I am with a customer or whatever, I am acting. I'm like, oh hi, like, but I think I'm really good at it because of the acting and because of the confidence that I've gained from it. I think I am quite a confident person. I guess that's something I take from it. I don't know about anything else really, but I love working in the theatre. Yeah,
so you're fully committed to being in the theatre, even in your normal, even in like the bill paying job.
Yes, and I manifested that job.
Did you?
Yes.
How?
And well, obviously I've been going to the Playhouse all my life, but I did the Panto there in 2022, and I was like, I want to work here. I'm going to work here. And I was just saying to everyone, I'm going to work here. I am. And then, what was it, 6 months? Yeah, 6 months later, I was working there and I handed in my application. Nothing happened. And I kept saying, I was like, hello, like, please let me work here, please. And then it finally happened. Because it is my favourite job I've ever had, and I don't ever want to leave. Because it's a theatre environment. It's literally perfect. Yeah. I love it.
And you've made like new friends there, haven't you?
I have.
Like I see you hanging out with new people.
Yeah, I made loads of new friends.
There's some great people at the Playhouse.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, and as well, like all the other sort of normal jobs that I've had before, there's always been, that person that you don't like or whatever. But at the Playhouse, I just genuinely like everyone. Everyone's so nice and similar to each other because we're all in a theatre and we all.
That's a space that you all want to be in. And you're all theatre orientated, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I've found that as well when I've tried to do like office jobs and things like that in the past. And they're just people you just can't. Not that you don't want to click with, but you just can't. You just can't. You find it so hard to engage with them. Yeah. Whereas when you've found your crowd, it just all happens naturally. You don't even have to try, do you?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So no, I'm really glad that I started there. Really happy there.
So do you see yourself doing any performing at all?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I don't want to stop performing. And any opportunity I get to do it, I do. So I perform with Hip Hop Pop, obviously. Yeah. I perform here sometimes, Christmas shows and stuff.
Yeah.
And things pop up here and there, which I always take the opportunity to do. I love performing. So yeah, I do see myself performing in the future. And actually, the other night, I had a dream.
Go on.
That I was in this random place, don't even know where I was, and I was with my boyfriend in the dream, and I was saying to him, I was like, I want to be on the West End, and I'm gonna do it because it's my dream, and I've been putting it off for too long, and I'm gonna do it. And he was like, all right, cool, let's do it. And I woke up like, I want to do it. So that dream hasn't gone. It's still there. So maybe one day, who knows?
Yeah, I do believe in never saying never.
Yeah.
Because every time I've done that, I've been shown like you can't say that.
Yeah.
Even with my even with like friends and things, I've said like things like, "Oh, I'm never going to see that person again," and then I do.
Yeah.
Like I can't, I'm trying to think of an example now, but yeah, I just know that never say never.
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
No.
Because you really don't know what's in front of you. As long as you keep putting yourself out there in the world, things will come.
Yeah.
Things will happen.
Of course. Yeah. Absolutely.
I've seen. I think never say never works for the ones that I've seen. Some people over the years where they don't put themselves out into the world, and they stay at home too much, and they don't do anything, and they don't engage with the world.
Yeah.
And those people,
the ones that
nothing does happen
Yeah.
for them, and maybe there's some protection in that.
Absolutely.
If they're fearful of something,
which is kind of, I guess, kind of what I think as well. Like that there is the reason why I don't really want to do it is because I am scared of, the rejection and the all of that. So I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get over that.
So do you think maybe it's not getting over it? Maybe finding a way to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because it's genuine.
Yeah.
That fear. I've not enjoyed it when I've been rejected.
Yeah.
I spent 20 years trying to be an actor, just rejection after rejection after rejection, and yeah, it's difficult.
It's part of it, and there's not one actor that doesn't experience that.
No.
Yeah.
Even people that have been brought up that have got connections within the industry, people that have got. I know someone that's got a famous dad, and she's doing okay, but she still had a lot of rejection.
Yeah.
She still had a lot of people say to her, "No, you're not right for this," and even sometimes because of the famous dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. So we all do get rejection.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's learning to cope with it.
Yeah.
Learning to what does that mean to us.
Maybe one day.
So maybe one day you'll figure out a way that no longer matters. And or something might come up.
Yeah.
You genuinely don't know, do you?
No.
I do believe in dreams though.
I do too, I think. I mean that's not random, is it?
No.
Like that meant something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dream a lot. I remember a lot of dreams. And like I even go back to the one I tell everyone about is a year pretty much to the day I dreamt that the world, this was in 2019, I dreamt that my family were locked up inside the house and there was no one on the streets.
Oh,
and and everyone was locked indoors, and
that's weird.
I needed to be at home to protect my family.
Oh my god.
And a year later, COVID happened.
That's spooky.
That was one where I went, I need to listen to the dreams more. And I've had a dream recently where I was stood on a stage, and it was like half indoors and half outside. Right. So it was like both. Like the stars were inside.
Oh wow. It's like Hogwarts.
It was. Yeah, it was. It was like Hogwarts.
Yeah.
And there was all these tables, and I was dressed up in like a suit, and I was on the stage, and I was saying thank you to a lot of people, and like telling people I appreciated them and loved them, and like I was like, I feel like that's somewhere in the future.
Oh, of course.
Like I don't know if I was accepting an award or giving someone an award, or it was something like that. But I was like, I feel like that's something.
Well, if you told the future about COVID, that must be.
Or the future told me.
Telling that,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. that means something.
But no, I do have a lot of these dreams, and maybe some of them don't mean anything. Maybe some.
Some of my dreams are a bit weird. I hope they don't happen.
No, they're right. Yeah, no, they're of course, and like I guess it's like how we interpret them and like how we pull them apart.
Yeah, I mean, since I had that dream, I have been thinking about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. So there's definitely something there that you want and desire.
Yeah.
And I think if you're given a dream, yeah, you should do something with it. But yeah, it's hard to get over the. Do you think it's just the rejection that you find hard?
No. So specifically with dance, and this is something that I have learnt over the past year, it is brutal. It's not just about your dance ability. That if anything, that's 50% of it. It's all about your.
Do you mean
look.
like when you say ability? Do you mean like technique and skill?
Yeah, just like how well
talent?
you can dance is only like half of what's gonna make you a professional dancer and get you into the industry, because it's all about how you look and how you present yourself, what your social media, and
yes.
oh my god, and
that's a problem for acting as well, and that was one of the moments where I started to come away from acting.
Yeah,
was the social media.
I can't stand it. Like we would do these in college. We would do these fake auditions, and I hated them because we had to write CVs and we had to do headshots and then like train like audition the way to act in an audition. And I was just like, oh my god, can we just not just dance? Can we just dance? Like, do you know what I mean? I just hated it. I absolutely despised it.
So what did you find with social media that you found difficult about the fact that you was being sort of told you have to have that to a certain level?
Yeah.
Because with acting, I was being told that there was acting agents, that were saying unless you've got less than 10,000 followers, we're not interested.
Exactly.
We're not interested in representing you. And it's like, what the hell has that got to do with my experience or talent?
Yeah.
Whether I've got 10,000 followers or not.
Yeah. No, it's so annoying, and it's like my social media is my social media. I mean, I post a few dance videos here and there, but I don't like to parade it all around my social media that I dance and that I sing and that I act. It's like you've got to be posting at least 3 videos a day, and your profile picture has to be this, and your bio has to say this, and you have to be always liking other dancers' posts and connecting, and like email. If you want to be in an agency, you have to be emailing all the time, and even like chasing. I was listening to it. I was like, absolutely not. Yeah. I'm not doing that. That is too much. It's just crap.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I say that?
Yeah. You
just
did.
It's not exactly about that, but yeah.
But yeah, it is, and it is. You know. There is competition out there in the world, but if we're all doing exactly the same thing, we're all doing exactly the same process, how do you stand out?
Yeah.
Where are you any different from the crowd? And if you've got 10,000 people following you on Instagram, what does that actually mean?
Yeah.
Because you can buy that.
Yeah.
You can go into Instagram and you can buy, if you've got a big enough credit card or you've got parents with enough money, you can buy that following.
Yeah.
It does. So what value does it have? Why does the industry think that has value?
God knows. I just think it's ridiculous. And
maybe at one stage it did. Maybe when social media started 10, 15 years ago, where everything was kind of like organic and you were following people you either knew or you had an interest in. Whereas now, the social media system's set up for them to make money, for Meta to make money, for TikTok to make money.
Yeah.
So maybe we're actually looking at a system that's stuck in the past.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean, social media is a separate issue, isn't it? It's such
it is an issue. It is real, and I'm trying to do the social media thing.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to. That's if you want to be successful in anything these days.
Yeah.
You have to. Yeah. Don't you?
I am trying to do it organically.
Yeah.
The old school way.
Yeah.
Where people just find it and without paying for the following.
Yeah.
And I do want to share this.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep this quiet.
No, absolutely.
It's like the whole purpose of this is to share it. But I don't want to fake it through just buying it, and I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to just be part of a system or the algorithm.
No, and being like sort of almost forced to post things that you don't really want to.
Yes, because the system because the system needs that.
Yeah, exactly.
That thing.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to be believed in your talent based upon you haven't posted 3 times today.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Anything else about the industry that you struggled with?
I think the toughness of it, like teachers are tough. We had some tough teachers, and some of them are mean. Some of them are really mean, and I'm not about that life either. Like me as a teacher, I make sure that I am kind, and obviously you've got to have discipline. Obviously, you can't be their friend really, but like some teachers are just I say that I am my students' friends. I think, but in the sense that you've got to have some level of.
There's got to be authority.
Authority, that's the word.
Yeah, you're there for a purpose. You're not there to hang out as mates and just have a laugh. You are trying to do something, teach them to achieve something.
But I think there is no reason why teachers have to be mean. I just don't get, and I understand like the industry's tough and you've got to prepare your students for that tough industry, but then why does the industry have to be tough? Do you know what I mean? Why can't we all just be nice?
It doesn't have to be tough. That's the truth.
Yeah.
The truth is, it doesn't have to be the way that it's been.
No, it doesn't.
It can change.
Yeah.
I'm listening to a good podcast that I've recently done a collaboration with. He's from New York, the guy that runs it. It's called Stage Combat, and he's been in Broadway, in a lot of shows in Broadway. Billy Elliot was like one of the main shows this guy was in, and he had a really tough time on Broadway. And he just woke up one day and said, the industry doesn't need to be like this.
No, it doesn't.
Everyone doesn't need to be horrible to each other. Everyone doesn't need to be cutthroat and nasty. We can change this.
Yeah.
And he started a movement in America with this podcast, and it's growing. And more people are coming forward and saying, why is it like this?
Yeah, doesn't
like just ask the question, like, why? What is the benefit of these teachers that are just nasty and brutal? What does that actually give to the art form?
Yeah, nothing.
What does that give to the business? What does that give to the audience?
Yeah, I agree completely. I think it's so sad, and it makes so many people that like me that want it as their dream, but they don't want to be subjected to that, which is completely fair. Because why would you want to be like? I mean, actually, I know a few people that love that cutthroatness. Like, fair enough.
Why do you think they love it?
I don't know. I really don't know. I really can't put myself in their shoes at all.
I have a feeling it's got something to do with ego.
Maybe.
Because obviously there is ego involved in theatre. We have to have an ego to want to perform in the first place.
Absolutely.
Don't we? And some people say ego's bad, but I think ego protects you. But then if we feed it too much, it can take over, and that's when we see these people in this industry that aren't very nice, that are putting others down, that are you see people that just go around terrorising people, don't you?
Yeah. It's just have you ever seen Dance Mums?
No, I've heard of it.
So I mean, I love Dance Mums. Like, it's my favourite thing. But like Abby Lee Miller, she's a great what's the word? Example of a. She's nasty. I don't know if you should watch some videos of her after this. Yeah,
where
she's
do you
the
see,
teacher.
Where is this?
It's just a TV show. It's on All 4. It's on Channel 4. And she's their teacher, and she is nasty. Like, she is horrible to these little kids. It's like, why? Like, yes, you are teaching your kids the about the industry, but it's just like, it's so shocking. And there's just so many. I've experienced teachers like that. I remember one time I was doing a class in Pineapple, and one of the boys in my class like did something wrong or something, and the teacher was like, "You should be shot." I was like, This is a 10-year-old kid, and you're telling him he should be shot because he got a move wrong. It's like, what? Like, it's horrible.
Do you think in any way it helps the child learn and put things right by treating them that way?
No, because I'm sure he'd probably be scared to do it again. But I think there's other ways that you could teach him that that was wrong. It doesn't all have to be negative. You can teach people in positive ways. Which is what I try to do when I teach. I've never shouted at a student. I've never said anything mean, because you don't have to, and they still improve. Do you know what I mean? It's so unnecessary, I think.
How can we reinforce then the positive when we're teaching and when we're bringing up the next generation, and they do that dance move wrong or they sing that note wrong? How can we let them know? You know, because normally we associate positivity to you've done something right. Mm-hmm. So how do we associate that to you've done something wrong?
So something that I do a lot with my students is I say to them, okay, so before I say anything, I say, what do you think you did well? And then what do you think you could improve on? And most of the time, the thing I'm thinking that they can improve on, they say it themselves anyway. Mm-hmm. But then because it comes from them, they want to fix it more, and they're like, oh yeah, I realised that, I'm gonna do you know what I mean? And it works like that. And then I'm like, oh, that's a good idea, let's try that. And then because it's come from them, they feel proud of themselves. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So yeah, that's just something I do which works.
It's self-affirming positivity.
Yeah.
And it's themselves coming to the conclusion and figuring it out, rather than it being forced into them.
Yeah, because a lot of times if you can have a teacher saying to you, you did that wrong, it can feel like, oh God, all right. Like, I mean, me personally, when I, growing up, you know, certain teachers, when anyone really talks to me in a disrespectful manner, I just shut off. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, I'm not listening to you then, because, and so that has never worked for me. I've never improved
because that's a protection thing, isn't it? You're protecting you will protect yourself.
Yeah.
So you naturally go to this place of shutdown.
Yeah, literally.
Don't you?
Yeah, and I've in my life, anyone that shows me respect, I'll show them respect. But if someone's not showing me respect, then I'm not showing you respect. I don't care if you're my teacher or you're like above me.
And I guess there's something like with our school system's a bit stuck in the past. There's a school system that we built for a certain reason over 100 years ago for lining these kids to grow up and do normal jobs, work in factories, and we've still got the same system at schools, and we've still got the same system with teaching, that we're going to teach these kids in a certain way to go off and do certain things. But the world's changed from that.
Yeah.
And the way that we show authority over children needs to change with that as well, doesn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
So rather than saying to a child, you must respect me because
I'm an adult.
Yeah. I'm a teacher. You know, I've used that. It is a place to go to as an adult, because we're like, I don't know what I've got.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
I don't know what else I am. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
So like, if a child isn't doing the thing, like whether you're like, when I've directed children, sometimes I think I have gone to that.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's done
like,
it though.
I am an adult. Like, come on. Like, I know, but it actually, as adults, we are still learning, and I think we need to admit that.
Learning, yeah. Absolutely.
I think a lot of adults need to like sit back and go, we're still learning, and actually, where is the hierarchy? What does it matter in the teaching?
I mean, you've obviously, as we said before, that you've got to have some authority, but that doesn't mean you can't listen to. Like, I will always listen to everything that a student has to tell me, because it's always going to be important, and I will never shut them down on anything, and I would never say, you know, because I'm your teacher. I can think that. Do you know what I mean? I can think it. Well, you've got to do that because I'm your teacher. But I don't think I'd ever say that, because, you know, I'd find a way to get around it and say it in a different way. Because I know that if someone said that to me, I would shut off and be like, so. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I believe as a director, there's a little bit of similarities with teaching. But for me, when I direct, I like to think that everyone that knows the answer, no matter what age they are, they know the answer to the problem. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in that situation of trying to figure it out. Yeah. They wouldn't be in that position of being on a stage, performing, dancing, acting. They do know it, but they've got to find that conclusion themselves, and you can help guide them. This is the thing, guiding. It's guiding. Yes, it's not forcing, it's not pushing, it's not shoving. No. It's guiding. Yeah. And unless you have the rare occasion of someone who's being very difficult. Obviously, I understand in those circumstances you do have to be like, right, stop, I'm the teacher. But like in all other situations. But I guess then we have to figure out, why is that person there? That person that's being difficult, Like, especially in the scenario, like at school, every kid is forced to go to school.
Yeah.
They haven't got a choice. So a lot of them are going to be resistant. Whereas with the kind of teaching you're doing, or the directing that I'm doing, the people that are there have chosen to be there.
Yeah.
So if there's resistance in that scenario where they've chosen to be, it's kind of like figuring out why. Mm-hmm. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. And there's always things like that. I have a few students who sometimes, they get frustrated. They're like, oh, I don't want to be here. But they do. Do you know what I mean? They love it so much, and they come the next week and they tell me how much they love it. And it's not to do with what we're doing. It's something maybe that's going on in their life, and
sometimes external things that are happening.
Yeah. You've got to take that into consideration. So,
because there is more happening in life than just the art and the craft, isn't there?
Yeah, of course.
And I think the whole industry forgets that. Mm-hmm. The whole, whether that's in theatre, whether that's in film,
such a big thing. Yeah.
The whole, whether it's in dance, that we do have other stuff going on. This isn't, whilst we may all love this, and this is our passions and our hopes and our dreams. Mm-hmm. That there is family. Mm-hmm. There is some people who are going through really difficult times.
I remember, it reminds me of one time when I was at dance college, and I'd had something happen in my personal life, and I still went to college that day, and I told my teacher about it, and she was like, "So, you're here to dance?" I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm just like, but I'm a bit upset, like, because this thing literally happened yesterday." She's like, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm sorry for you, but I don't really care. Like, we're here to dance." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
So what did that "I'm sorry for you" actually mean?
Yeah, nothing.
Did it really?
And that's what the industry's like sometimes.
Yes.
Not all the time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's like, well, we don't care what you've got going on in your life because you're here to work. You're not here, and it's like there's no consideration for anything else. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing I just don't like about it. It's not always like that. But I
guess I've been trying to find a conclusion to this sort of question. It's quite difficult for theatre that you have a show that has a time that it's going to go on. You publicise that to the public. You build as a team towards that point. So you say, right, on the 1st of December at 7 p.m, this show's going to happen. There's that saying, the show must go on. Mm-hmm. But then you've got like 50 people, and then one of those 50 people have an issue. They have their partner split up with them the day before, and they really don't feel like doing the show. Like their whole world has collapsed. Mm-hmm. What do you do about that 49 other people and that audience that came?
Yeah, it's tricky.
There's one thing doing it when it's like a community theatre production. There's another thing doing it when it's a business. And I guess that's where the saying comes from. The show must go on.
Yeah. I think there are certain situations where you can be thoughtful about it, but there's some like that situation. What do? You just got to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like that. And I guess that's a moment of going, is this for me? Yeah. Is this the life that I want? Do I want to be part of something that has to continue to move? Yeah, exactly. That has to continue to move forward. Yeah. And put aside life. Yeah. Or is that not for me? Exactly, yeah. And that's not for me. Because I've had to say that to someone that was part of a show once. I had to say, I don't think this is for you. Doing theatre, I don't think this is for you. Yeah. Because there's everyone else, and I can't pause this. I am genuinely sorry about the situations you've got going on in your life, but I can't pause the whole show because of your problems. Yeah. So, at this point, is this for you? I don't think it is, and I think you need to be honest with yourself. Yeah. I think that person's still struggling with that now, because that is a very hard thing to answer, isn't it? And then I sometimes think back and I think, was I a bit too hard? No, but the show has to happen. It's so tricky, isn't it? Because the show had to happen. You can see it from both sides. This is why it's so hard, and this is why I don't think I could. You've made for this moment in your life, you've made that tough decision. Yeah. Of answering that question for yourself. This isn't right for you right now. Yeah. Maybe in the future, as things are different, but right now,
That's not what you want.
No.
Right now, you want to teach people,
Yeah.
and you want to give these gifts and these talents to others.
Yeah, I think I always will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great thing that you've got,
Yeah.
that you're building on there.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing where it goes and how this builds.
Putting on a little show
Oh, go on.
here.
Yeah.
It's not like a big thing, but it's just a little showcase, because I've never put on a show or anything, and I've always really wanted to.
Okay.
So I decided that with just a couple of my students, I'm going to just do like a little showcase thing, just like a little musical theatre thing. I think in January I'm going to do it here. So, yeah, that's exciting.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, nothing's set in stone. It's just an idea at the moment.
Is there any reason why you can't book in a date?
Well, I have actually
Okay.
got a date, and
Okay.
I've texted the people.
You have, yeah.
I have got a date.
See, for me, that's how I make things happen in theatre. I say, this is the date that's happening, and now I'm working towards it, and I enjoy that.
Yeah.
That for me makes it happen, and
Yeah.
that's why I've always loved theatre. Because I have the 26th of September. I'm doing a show at the Harlow Playhouse, and I've booked it in, and that's what's happening.
Are you?
Maybe.
Are you actually?
Maybe it's too soon to say it in
Okay,
public.
all
No, it's
right.
not too soon to say it in public, because this will come out in a couple of weeks' time.
There you go.
So there you go, 26th of September.
Be there.
I'm looking for I'm doing a live version of this.
Oh, are you?
Yes, currently looking and
cool.
booking the guests that will
Yeah.
be sitting in the chair.
Oh, amazing.
So currently sorting that out.
Yeah.
But for me, that's how it gets moving, is by going, that's the date.
Yeah.
That is happening on that date. And then I know, because it's coming. It's there in the future, and it's getting closer and closer and closer. And I enjoy that, and I like that, and that gives me encouragement to make it happen.
Yeah.
As well.
Good advice.
Yeah. Well, you're doing it already. You don't need the advice.
Well, yeah, I hope it happens. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So.
What else is in the process of? So you've had the idea, you've booked the date.
Yes.
What next?
It's just like sorting out rehearsals and stuff. Because I'm trying to think of how much rehearsal time I would need, and like how many times a week, and like sort of what would I like who can come to each rehearsal, getting a time that everyone can do. It's all that. I mean, it's all easy stuff that I'll get it done.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's next. So.
What I would say from there is work backwards.
Yeah.
With a schedule. Work out yourself before you talk to all the other people. Because if you're looking in January as well, that's enough time for people to make arrangements to be part of it.
Yeah.
So they can commit to that now and make other things fit around your plan.
Yeah.
Rather than if you leave it too long, then they'll start all having other things going on.
Yeah.
But at the moment, they'll all want to be part of your thing.
Yeah. I've spoke to them all, and they all are excited about it and want to do it. So, yeah.
So what does it look like, this showcase?
So it's just going to be that I will do musical theatre with them. So it's going to be a mixture of different songs from different musicals. A few of them they've actually already done in some of their exams, and they did it themselves. And I'm going to make that very clear in the show that this is them. This is what they've done.
Yeah.
So let's some different songs, which they won't just stand there and sing. It'll be some dancing and some acting, some scenes as well leading into it. So kind of like a mishmash of musicals sort of put together. Yeah.
Is there going to be a new theatre company that you're going to start with this?
God.
Do we need to think of a name?
Oh God.
Summer's Musicals.
Summer's Musicals.
We could start coming up with the names now.
Maybe. I hadn't even thought of that. But
Yeah.
who knows? Because things lead on from each other,
They
don't
do,
they?
yeah.
So maybe that would be quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Good. It is exciting.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what I love about doing all this stuff,
Yeah.
and why I'll always do it, because it's fun.
Yeah. It is. It is just fun.
You know,
and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
If you're not having fun, why are you doing it?
Yeah. And that's the stuff with the professional thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you start moving into the professional world and you start looking at it and going, this actually isn't fun. This actually isn't nice.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You've got to find the fun within the creativity.
Yes.
So one thing new I've been doing with this podcast is I have been asking my guests for a question for my next guest.
Okay.
And they don't know who you are.
Okay.
That all they know is that you're a creative. And so my last guest, their question was, as a creative,
Yeah.
what are you most fearful of?
that my dream, or that like my goals will never happen, and I will be stuck with a boring job, probably, because I don't want to live a boring life, and I don't want to have a boring job, and I want big things to happen for me, obviously, as everyone does. And I sometimes I'm scared, well, what if that doesn't happen, and then I just have a boring job for the rest of my life. Boring job. I don't want to be offensive, but
what do you fear within that boring job?
Just the same thing every day. And when I say like boring job, some people, that's what some people want, and I'm not judging others for that.
And I've spoke to someone recently who was like, I want to work in an office.
Yeah, and that's great.
Because I want stability, like in my life, and I want to go on holidays, and I want a home.
Yeah.
And that's just what I want.
Yeah.
And like I want to go somewhere that I go and do something that then gives me money in my bank, so I can like meet up with friends and go to the pub.
Yeah.
Like, and that's all I want. That's all they want in their life. And I'm like, well, that's great.
Yeah, and that is great that they know that.
But it's hard for us creatives and us people with a dream and with a passion for something. Those things to me become like secondary.
Yeah, of course.
And I think this is quite similar for you. It's like you've seen what this can give you in life. Yeah. And you're like, I want more of that.
Yeah, I want more. That's it. I want more, and I want to be successful. Like, obviously, as everyone does. And yeah, you know, I have thoughts of, well, what if that doesn't happen, and what then? So I suppose that.
So what does success look like to you?
Having a business that is popular, not popular is the wrong word, that is successful and has lots of people involved, money. I know, you know, it's not good to say, oh, I want money, but I want money. Do you know?
Yeah,
Who doesn't want to make money?
Yeah, because you want the other things in life as well, don't you?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you want the holidays, you want the car, you want to do things with your friends and family.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing to want it. Like we live in a society that's run by money, aren't we?
Exactly.
So it's important.
Yeah, it is important.
You know, and it's the fuel.
Yeah.
This is something that I'm realising recently, actually, with myself, is I do believe in manifestation. You brought it up at the beginning. And I've manifested so much that's happened in my life in this past year. But I forgot something to ask for in the manifestation.
The money.
The money.
Yeah.
I forgot. And it's so bizarre how accurately things are coming into fruition through me, through what I sat down a year ago and planned out and kind of asked the universe for.
Yeah.
And I went, I'm going in this direction. I feel this direction, and I want this direction, and I'm grateful for this direction. And yeah, I didn't plan in the money. so this first like year of manifestation, I was like, I wanted to lay foundations for something, which is what I did. Yeah. But now I'm like, right, okay, I'm going to go into this new year of manifestation and be like, I want stability now. Yeah. I need the income and the finances, and that's what's coming next.
Yeah. And it will.
and it will. Yeah. And I genuinely believe it will as well. Yeah. Because I need it for the fuel to be able to keep doing what my passion is.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's not a bad thing to ask.
It's important.
It's important.
Yeah, and I my mum always tells me that I have expensive taste. And that that is important. But ultimately, you know, just being happy in what I'm doing, because that's the whole point, isn't it? So that's what a successful life looks like to me, is just being happy what I'm doing and having money alongside that happiness.
Do you think on the current path that you're on, there is anything to be fearful of?
Currently, no. But there's always things that come up. So I don't know. I can't expect a smooth journey. No. But at the moment, like, I don't have to worry about money, really. I'm only 20, so... I know. So
like, you're so young, there's just so much ahead of you. Yeah. And I think about that. It's a really tough one to ask you about fear, and, you know, to ask you, is there anything to be fearful of that's coming up? That's really tough, because actually as well, some of that stuff that comes up that's tough, that you will be fearful of, is actually the stuff that makes you.
Yeah.
That is the stuff that makes you good at your craft as well.
Yeah.
All the things that I was fearful of. Actually, if I look back, like if I go back like 20 years ago and said to myself, like, you're going to do all this stuff, I'd have gone, that's really scary. I don't even want to go forward past here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done if someone said that to me. But having gone through that 20 years now, I'm like, that's made me who I am.
Yeah.
I had to go through that. I had to go through that shit. I had to
absolutely.
I had to go through the fear.
Yeah.
So embrace it as it comes. Summer.
Looking forward to it.
I'm really selling it, aren't I? But it is so important to whatever, especially with creativity and whatever craft you're doing, to embrace the fear.
Yes.
Okay.
So
have you got a question from my next guest?
Oh God, I'm not good at this.
Have you got anything that you would? All right, let's put it this way. Is there anything that you would want to know more about? What are you keen to learn?
In terms of
obviously creativity.
the creative.
In terms, yeah.
Okay. So I'm asking this person who I don't know who it is. Where do you gain most of your inspiration? Creatively. Yes.
And you?
Oh, do I answer that?
I'm asking to now, yeah.
Okay.
I'm wondering, yeah, where do you find it?
Inspiration. Well, I guess in terms of teaching, my parents.
Of course. I was hoping you would say that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
In terms of like, I don't know though. Like I've never really had like a famous person idol that I look at and I'm like, I want to be like them. I've never really had that.
No.
So I think I just gain inspiration from just life. That sounds really vague and like sounds like a cop-out answer, but
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like just going through life and just random things and just doing what I feel like on that day.
I always used to look for like inspiration. I always used to be like, right, I need inspiration from a person.
Yeah.
Or I need inspiration. Like, I was like, where am I getting it from? Like, all over here, over there. But you're right, it's in life.
Yeah.
Like, every day I'm finding something to be inspired by, or there might be a seed to an idea, or there might be something that I'm working on at the moment, and something that I want to do is I want to go to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Yeah.
And that started off with just someone mentioning it that I should go, and I've been working out, how do I like get there? It's going to be expensive. What do I do once I'm there? What's the purpose? And like all these other questions started coming from that. And as I'm working through them, I'm like, what am I going to do there? And then today, I got inspiration on social media through something someone else is doing. And I was like, it was just there.
Yeah.
And now I know what I'm going to do when I'm there.
Yeah.
So there's this person that's on social media that's a musician, that they have a little sign up, and they say, it says something like, pick up the microphone and we'll sing a song together. That little fly. And we'll sing a song together. Something like that. I was like, I should just do this and have a little sign here saying, come sit down and tell me your story.
Yeah.
Just like have two chairs on the streets in Edinburgh while everyone's doing their theatre, and just find
That's a really good idea, actually.
Just find random people just to sit down with me.
That's such a thing you could put on TikTok as well.
Yeah.
Like small little clips of
clips of people just sitting down with like Edinburgh Castle in the background or something.
Yeah.
And all this theatre stuff going on, and me and some stranger just have a chat.
That'd be really cool.
Like, yeah. So now I've got to find 2 chairs. That's all I've got to find. But it's getting me used to Edinburgh. Maybe some like fold away chairs. Like the chairs don't really matter, do they? No, it's just the fact of sitting down.
Yeah.
And just setting it up.
Just sit on the ground.
But the thing was that I just found the inspiration by opening up Instagram.
Yeah.
Like it was just there. I didn't search for it.
Yeah.
It was there, and I was just open to adapting that idea to fit mine.
Yeah.
You know. So I think that is where the best inspiration comes from life. And then conversations.
Conversations with people. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And do you know what, something else I thought of as well when you were saying that is, I think whether this is healthy or not, I think a big part of, I don't know if you can call it inspiration, is I'm quite competitive. And if I see someone that has done something that I want to do, I'm like, well, I've got to do that now. Like I have to do it, and I have to do it better than them. Which, yeah, probably isn't the healthiest thing, but it does help, healthy competition when it's healthy.
Yeah. So when is competition not healthy then?
Well, I suppose like when you're just all the time comparing yourself to other people, and you know, if you have a goal that you're trying to achieve and maybe you don't do it, maybe you don't achieve it, you know, beating yourself up about it and stuff, when you know all you have to do is try again. It's
seeing each other as competitors, and I think that's in this, you know, in theatre, in dance, we're kind of brought up to do these auditions, aren't we?
Yeah.
And competitions, and so yeah, everyone becomes a competitor. As actually, no, we're not. We're all just doing our own thing.
Yeah.
And actually, yeah, if we can take that competition and actually turn that into the inspiration that we were talking about.
Yeah.
And being like, right, someone else is doing that. How can I adapt that to my life and the things that I want to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Turn the competition into inspiration.
There you go.
There you go. There's a little quote for social media.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I can see that on your Instagram page.
Yeah, there you go. We'll put that little bit there, straight up on Instagram. So, we kind of know what the future holds for you. Have you got any hopes and dreams outside of theatre?
Hopes and dreams that's not to do with theatre. So not really. I'm a simple person in that I find my joy in going to restaurants and eating and dressing up nice and going out and shopping.
Finding the joy.
Yeah, that's just what I like to do. And seeing my friends and going out and stuff.
Living
That's
life.
what I like. Yeah. So and I want to continue to do that my whole life. Yeah, pretty much. That's it, really. I don't really have any other. As I said, that theatre and everything. That's literally all I want to do.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Summer.
It's all right.
This has been a really wonderful conversation.
Yeah.
We've gone on a little journey here. We've discovered some things, I think. I really appreciate you joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I've got my question for my next guest.
Yeah.
And if anyone has been watching or listening, we appreciate you for joining us on this.
Thank you.
This journey. Very much appreciated. And if anyone wanted to find out more about your singing classes, how do they find out about you and how do they get in contact with you?
Do you know what? That's a good question because all my students have come from. Okay, probably email me. Do I say my email address?
If you want people to contact you.
All right. I'm gonna get loads of emails. No. Which my email is summerpm03@icloud.com. I should probably get a professional email, shouldn't I? That's my personal one, but oh well.
No, can you receive messages on it?
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
On my Instagram, Summer Mawdsley. DM me. But yeah, that's it really.
Nice. Yeah, nice and easy. And we'll put all the links in the comments below.
Brilliant.
Find out more.
Lovely.
Brilliant. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Woo.